Alright, hello there and welcome to another episode of the iljaTech Progress and Perspectives. In the last episode of the mod development, I added the Foundry multiblock in which you can add some copper and tin, and this will make bronze. Oop. There you go. Now, in the last episode, I also talked about this and this slot, and I explained that this one up top here would be the Flux slot, and this one down here would be the Slag slot. And that brings me to the point of this episode, because today I'm gonna add steel, and in this process, both of the Flux and the Slag are gonna become relevant. So, how about it? How do you make steel? First, you need, of course, iron. And you need to also have some carbon in the form of coke. So it doesn't really matter in what order you put it, but it does matter that you put the flux as well, because for this recipe it's mandatory. So you can put limestone. So as you can see, also the limestone is gonna have some decoration blocks like stairs and slabs, and also the walls. And there you go. It does the recipe. You don't yet get your steel ingot, you get steel bloom, and it took one of the fluxes as well, and you get slag. Now, to turn this steel bloom into steel ingots, you're gonna have to use the hammer. Now, as you noticed, I also updated the item sprite for the firebox, so now it's made of fire bricks. I think this looks a bit better, and also it fits into the progression much nicer. So how exactly do we get this new coke resource? Well, it just used in the steel making process. So the coke comes from this new coke oven multi-block, which you can see here. So there's also this new clinker bricks block, what's used for the coke oven structure, and this is like an industrial looking brick, which is made from bricks and fire bricks. Here you can put in your coal, and it will slowly make it into coal coke via a process called pyrolysis. Now there's two kinds of pyrolysis, slow pyrolysis and fast pyrolysis. The slow pyrolysis makes the coal coke, but in real life this can take up to a whole day, which in Minecraft translates to 12,000 ticks, or basically 10 minutes. Now I want to explain a bit more about this structure. So, because it takes such a ridiculously long time, you of course want to have multiple of them. Now, this is also inspired by how it's being done in real life, because in real life, they would build a whole row of this. Then they have these kind of hopper minecarts on top, which actually input the coal to the ovens. Then they have another railway in front, and when the coal coke is done, then there is maybe some men with shovels which take out the coal and put it into the hopper minecart. But I think for now I would just like to make it work like a dropper. So when it's done, it could automatically open the door and throw out the coal in front. And I feel like this really fits Minecraft well, because you can have so many different options of how you collect the items. You could have a hopper minecart going in front to pick them up, or you could simply have some kind of water stream, and that's why I made it so you can basically wall share them and have very efficient structure, where instead of building a completely new coke oven next to the one you already have, you can just make a compact design, so you can have two of them next to each other just like this, and both of them will work. You notice if I break the wall, you cannot access that one anymore. But of course this one still works. Alright, so what is next for this coke oven? Well, as I mentioned earlier, there's fast pyrolysis and slow pyrolysis. And the difference between fast and slow pyrolysis is not only the speed, but also the products. So that's why if you look in here, there's now 2 product slots. So let's go ahead and see what happens. I've sped this up just for testing purposes, and I made it so that you can do 16 at once. And here you can see it forms the 16 coke, but it also forms a new byproduct, which is creosote oil. Now, if you're doing fast pyrolysis, the target is to make a lot more oil, so you use higher temperatures, and you would, for example, get a lot less coke and a lot more oil. So as you can see, this makes just half a bucket. Let's go ahead and run another batch so that I can get a full bucket 1.0, and then I can show you that you can just click the bucket into this slot and you can get all the fluid out of there. So here you go, bucket of creosote oil, and as you can see, it's not just a water reskin, but it's actually a custom flowing texture. Also, I have gotten some suggestions that the fluid should have some special interactions with water and lava. So what else is the creosote oil used for? Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's usually used as wood preservative. So yeah, maybe I won't be adding a whole new wood set just for like impregnated wood, but maybe what I'll do instead is that there's this carpenter machine where you can make some new things and components out of wood using the creosote oil as well. And for automation, I've also finished adding these hatches. So they kind of look like hoppers, and you can put them in the top. And as you see, it's optional. So if you don't have them, you know, it still works. You can still open the thing. But if you put one of these item hatches, you can, you know, just dump your coal in here, and all of it is actually going straight to the coke oven. So yeah, that's pretty useful because of course that allows you to input the items from the top, like I was explaining earlier. So I'm pretty happy with all of these additions. It was a lot of fun to create this and to come up with it. Actually, I also wanted it to use the firebox, and I just calculated it, and a piece of coal burns for 80 seconds. It's gonna use quite a lot of fuel actually. 7.5 pieces of coal just to make 16 coke. And I'm not really sure if that's fair or if it should use somehow less fuel. With that said, I think this episode has taken long enough, so I can't wait to just get it out and published. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.